Hello, it's Phil Thatch and I'm here today with my Nikon Z6, one of the original Nikon Z series cameras that came out in late 17, early 18, somewhere around there. I've had this thing since it first came out, and here we are in the spring of 2021, and I'm happy to report that Nikon is still updating and supporting this camera. Today they added, or just recently I should say, not today, they released firmware version 3.3. And there's a new feature in this firmware version that's kind of something that you might see on a more professional camera, like a news reporter or a professional sports photographer might use, like a D5 or a D6 or D4, something like that. You can record a voice memo that attaches itself to a photograph. Pretty cool. First you have to update your firmware to version 3.3. which I've done that. I've showed how to update firmware in another video, not how to do it to 3.3, but it's the same thing. And I'll put a link to that video up here in the corner. But once you get your firmware updated, you have to go in and do some custom control changes, and I'll show you how to do that now. Okay, here we are looking at the back of the Z6. I've hit menu and I'm on the setup menu, and the first thing I want to do is go to firmware version and make sure that we are showing version 3.3, which we are. Now, the next thing we do is we go to the pencil menu, which is a custom settings menu, and the area we want to adjust is section F, controls, and we go down to section F2, custom control assignment. And there's 8 areas that we can work on. The one we're going to do is the third one down on the right, which is the movie record button. So we're going to click on that, and you can see there's all these different things you can program that button to do, but the one we want is right here, voice memo. So we make sure that when you have it set up correctly, there will be a microphone in the graphic right there. And then we hit menu, and now we are done. Okay, once you've got your camera set up with the record button set to do voice memos, you know, and it's interesting, if you flip this switch right here to video mode, you press record, it goes and makes a video. But if you have it in camera mode and you are in playback and looking at a photograph you've made, let's do a photograph now. Here's a photo of the camera recording the video. So I've made that photo. I'll press play, and now the photo is being displayed. And now is when you press the movie record button, and you press it and hold it the whole time that you're talking. So you can do, this is a photograph of my camera while it is recording a video for YouTube. And then you let go of the button. And now when you're reviewing your pictures, there will be a music note in the top left. And if there is a music note, you can hit the record button again on that photo and you'll hear the message. This is a photograph of my camera while it is recording a video for YouTube. Pretty cool. So that's how you play it back when it's in the camera. Later on, like let's say you went to the Galapagos Islands and you made a photograph of a blue-footed booby, and 5 or 6 years later you're looking at your pictures and you're like, what is the name of that bird? I can't remember the name of that crazy looking bird with the blue feet is. Well, if you made a voice memo to go along with that, where you've taken the files off of your card and have them on your hard drive on your computer, the file name that matches, like if there's a file name DSC 0000001.nef or .jpeg, and then there was also a file DSC 0000001.wav for wave form, that would be the audio file. So you could listen to that audio file and you would hear your memo that corresponds with the photograph with the same file name, different extension. I'm not sure I did a great job of describing that, but it makes the exact same file name except for WAV instead of NEF for RAW or JPEG for JPEG. And you can refer to that. So it's kind of a neat feature. You know, someone in the news media might take a photograph of someone and just say this was taken in front of blah, blah, blah building at blah, blah, blah time of blah, blah, blah person. Who knows? I mean, there's a thousand uses for this feature, but it's interesting that the Z6 got this feature and not the Z7 and not the Z5 and not the Z50 and not the Z6 II and not the Z7 II, just the Z6. So far, I think some of the rest of them, at least from what I'm understanding, they're at least going to add it also to the Z6 II at some point. But it's a neat feature, and I thought I would demonstrate it to you today. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. And as always, I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.